This is Mac OS Ken.
A vote of confidence for Apple shares. Apple's Pro audio and video apps get updates, and a pile of games headed to Apple Arcade. It is Thursday, the 14th of November, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Incogni, helping you take back your personal data. Get 60% off an annual plan with code MacOSKen at incogni.com/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. A vote of confidence for Apple shares from Evercore analyst Amit Daryanani. Barron's ran AdRock's list of top stocks to own in 2025, with Apple featured prominently. All about the iPhone, all about the services. Actually, it's sort of a mise en scène. No, he doesn't think there's likely to be an iPhone supercycle this year, but he doesn't think that should be worrying to investors. He is still in the stronger for longer camp. As Apple Intelligence features pick up, iPhone sales will pick up in his estimation. Of course, iPhone sales aren't Apple's only AI play. The way Team Evercore sees it, moves by Apple to monetize the efforts of others will let it reap the AI rewards without spending the huge amounts others are spending on artificial intelligence. Evercore has an outperform rating on Apple's shares. The firm's price target on the shares is $250. For the curious among you, the other four stocks Daryanani likes for 2025 are Amphenol, Arista Networks, IBM, and Vertiv Holdings. News of another stupid lawsuit. Mac Rumor says Apple faces a class action lawsuit over crackling sounds in AirPods Pro. According to the report, a few months after the AirPods Pro came out in October of 2019, buyers began to complain about crackling, rattling, popping, and static-like noises affecting the AirPods Pro. The sound seemed to show up when something caused an earbud to move or vibrate, such as walking or running. When an attempted software fix didn't fix the issue, the piece says Apple instituted a repair program. Mac Rumor says customers with affected AirPods Pro were able to bring them to Apple for a fix or a replacement, but unfortunately many customers found that their replacement AirPods also suffered the same issue. I want to hit pause on this for a second. I owned a pair of AirPods Pro with which I used to walk and run. I never had this issue. When I got my AirPods Pro 2 a couple of weeks ago, I gave my original pair to my special lady friend who was also not having this issue. I'm not saying no one ever had this problem. I mean, they must have. Apple started a whole repair program. But could affected individuals not take the replacement pair back as well? And could this have been a big enough issue to actually warrant a lawsuit? I mean, what were they? Butterfly AirPods? Still, certain types of lawsuits are the new U.S. lottery. And so, Mac Rumor says Apple is now facing a class action lawsuit with the plaintiffs requesting relief due to the defective nature of the AirPods Pro. The complaint says that customers would not have purchased the AirPods Pro or would have paid less had Apple made the flaw clear. Apple is also being accused of false advertising for highlighting features like superior sound quality and pure, incredibly clear sound when knowing there was an issue with crackling and static. Mac Rumor says it is now up to the courts to decide whether the arguments hold up and whether the case deserves class action certification. As had been expected, Apple on Wednesday updated Final Cut Pro. Not surprisingly, the company also updated the Final Cut Camera app for iPhone. Then, kind of unexpected but still not overly surprising, Apple also updated Logic Pro for Mac and iPad. Starting with the logical choice, a piece from 9to5Mac says both Mac and iPad versions of Logic Pro are getting multiple new features, including a Quantec Room Simulator and improvements to Sound Browser on iPad OS. Logic Pro for iPad works with an iPad Air or iPad Pro powered by an M1 processor or better. The digital audio powerhouse comes with a 1-month free trial. After that, it will run subscribers $4.99 per month or $49 a year. That is for the tablet one. Logic Pro for Mac comes with a 3-month free trial. It's available after that for a one-time purchase of $200. Likely more exciting for more people is the Final Cut Pro update. While it's not been called Final Cut Pro 10 for a while, another piece from 9to5Mac says the software has graduated. This is the first version in years that hasn't been a 10. anything, moving up to FCP 11. Well, for the Mac anyway. The update for iPad is version 2.1. The report says featured features for the Mac version include support for spatial video editing, transcribe to captions, magnetic mask, and more. Updates for the iPad version are more workaday, including several additions geared towards streamlining the editing experience on iPad, according to 9to5Mac. Final Cut Pro for iPad 2.1 requires an iPad with an M1 chip or later, unless you got the new iPad mini. The diminutive tablet's A17 Pro can handle that. Like Logic Pro for iPad, Final Cut Pro for the tablet will run subscribers $4.99 a month or $49 a year after a 1-month free trial. Final Cut Pro for Mac comes at a one-time purchase of $299, though there is a 90-day free trial. Last on the list of updates, the aforementioned Final Cut Camera app. With the new version, says another piece from 9to5Mac, users can finally capture log videos using the HEVC codec, as well as preview log videos with the Apple Log LUT, and other things that probably mean something to some people. Final Cut Camera 1.1 is a free application. It is available now in the App Store. News of a new feature for iOS 18.2 that is borderline creepy. A piece from Macworld. Yeah, I know, right? That's still a thing. Anyway, a piece from Macworld says Apple's audio recognition service Shazam will soon have an option to remember where you heard a song. The piece says the upcoming OS update lets the music recognition applet Geotag songs based on where users discover them. To be clear, this is the Shazam function in Control Center, not the standalone Shazam app. According to the report, once you allow location access, it will automatically enable a geotagging feature that will tag songs with location data. So going forward, when you discover songs through the music recognition tool, it'll attach your location to the song history, so you'll be able to place the song in a specific place to remember where you were when you heard it. I say borderline creepy for a few reasons. First, your iPhone probably has a better idea than you do where you are most of the time. Second, you can theoretically keep the Shazam function ignorant of your surroundings by not allowing location access. To me, those factors keep it from being all-in creepy. Though a fun way to leave more breadcrumbs about where I was when doesn't feel totally Apple. It's also not creepy. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Incogni, helping you take back your personal data. There are plenty of reasons you might not want your data out there, and yet there are hundreds of companies collecting, collating, and selling data about you. Sure, they'll probably take your data down if you ask them, but you have to know who they are, what to say if they say no, and you have to have a lot of time. Or you could work with Incogni. Make an account, give them permission to work on your behalf, and Incogni goes to work requesting data brokers remove your data, dealing with any objections the data brokers have, and keeping on keeping on. Whenever a new record is created on the data broker site, Incogni is ready with another removal request. They've gotten over 120 data brokers to pull down my info, saving me over 90 hours of work that I wouldn't even know how to do. And they can do that for you. Whether you want to slow the flow of spam, stifle the annoying robocalls, or guard against identity theft, Incogni is ready to work with you and for you. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Get 60% off an annual plan with code MacOSKen at incogni.com/MacOSKen. They've got plans for individuals as well as plans to cover friends and family, and they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. INCOGNI. Join the huge community of people who have control over their personal data with Incogni. Get 60% off an annual plan with code MacOSKen at incogni.com/MacOSKen. Lots of new games headed to Apple Arcade, some to end the old year and others to start the new one. The Cupertino company issued a press release Wednesday highlighted by Mac rumors. Headed into the holiday season, titles on the way to Apple Arcade include Talking Tom Blast Park, Boggle Arcade Edition, Pac-Man 256 Plus, Hot Wheels Race Off Plus, Barbie Color Creations Plus, Final Fantasy IV 3D Remake Plus, and Final Fantasy IV The After Years Plus. Numbering for the Final Fantasy games makes no sense. Never has, as far as I can tell. Now, all those games hit Apple Arcade on the 5th of December. Each is playable on iPhone, iPad, the Mac, Apple TV, and Apple Vision Pro. There is one more coming out on the same day, though, made exclusively for Apple's spatial computer. A piece from Upload VR gives us the download on Little Cities Diorama. According to the developer description, the game serves up an irresistible offering of fuss-free city creation, utilizing intuitive gesture controls and a bespoke bubble-poppin' UI to make placing roads, constructing houses, and building landmarks a breeze. With a sandbox of endless creative possibilities and a gorgeous range of biomes and environments to explore, there is something to delight every player. I kind of left out the cool part. You can build the city of your dreams on your dining room table, your coffee table, the bathroom floor. Basically, if it's a flat surface you can see through Apple Vision Pro, you can build your city on it. The three of you with an Apple Vision Pro will have to tell me how it is. I know one guy who's going to hate it, by the way. The hand gesture controls look difficult in the demo video, and you gotta figure they made that look as good as they possibly could. Might be frustrating, just a guess. Still looks kind of fun. The games do not stop in December. After the first of the year, Mac Rumors has another 7 titles on the way to Apple Arcade. Joining the fun on the 9th of January are Skate City, New York, Gears and Goo, Three Kingdoms Heroes, Final Fantasy Plus, Trials of Mana Plus, Rodeo Stampede Plus, and it's literally just mowing plus. Well, which is it? Apple Arcade is $6.99 per month as a standalone service. It is also bundled with the Apple One bundle, so have at. And finally today, a couple of products that might be good Apple-related holiday gifts. For the Apple Watch wearer with refined tastes, Mac Rumor says the Cupertino company has released a new Gold Link bracelet watch band. Apple actually showed this off back in September, but I guess these things take time, even though they were already making them. According to the piece, the gold version of the Link bracelet is identical to the natural and slate options, but it is designed to match the titanium Apple Watch Series 10 that comes in the same gold color. It's made from 316L stainless steel alloy with a custom butterfly closure. And you know, when it's Apple and butterfly, it's always the Gold Link bracelet for Apple Watch is available now. It'll run buyers $349. For something a bit more accessible, 9to5Mac has word of a new book all about Ted Lasso, the TV series, not the fictional character. Jeremy Egner, TV critic for the New York Times, has penned the book Believe, the untold story behind Ted Lasso, the show that kicked its way into our hearts. Lose that last part. In it, the book's blurb says, Egner traces the show's creation and legacy through the words of the people at its center, drawing on dozens of interviews from key cast, creators, and more. Believe takes readers from the first silly NBC Premier League commercial to the pitch to Apple executives, then into the show's writer's room, through the brilliant international casting, and onto the unforgettable set and locations of the show itself. It is available in hardback for about $25, digital for Kindle, and for Apple Books is going for just under $17. And yes, it is out there, just in time for the holidays. macOS Can, brought to you by me, and sponsored by Incogni. Get 60% off an annual plan with code macOSCan at incogni.com/macOScan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOScan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.